What's going on, guys? Now, with the season fast approaching, we've got another 3 weeks until it starts. I'm going to start doing my ones to watch for the season because there's quite a few players who I'm excited to see. Some have got a point to prove. Some are just simply too young to make an impact, and this is their year. Um, Various reasons. The one I'm going to talk about now, though, is Harvey Elliott. Now, this is a guy who I have loved for so long. And he's also one of these players who you'll look at it from the outside, you'll look at him from the outside and think he's not really hitting his potential. But when you look at the facts, you look at how young he is still, it's honestly, it's mind blowing. The guy is 21 years of age. He signed for Liverpool, I think it was about 5 years ago. He signed in 2019 and he's still only 21. I think he had a good season last year, but he still hasn't quite had his like proper breakthrough season. When I say breakthrough, I mean he's first name on the team sheet, or if not even first, but if you're doing your 1 to 11 for Liverpool, he starts. I don't think he's had one of those yet. I think when everyone's fit, he's got to grab his opportunity, and he's got to be the one that everyone says, right, Harvey Elliott starting. Now, I think it's a little bit unfair on him because if I'm comparing him to someone like Bukayo Saka, now Bukayo Saka's only a year older than him, but I think it's different circumstances. I think when Saka came into the team, it was roughly around the same time that Harvey Elliott was signed. But the reason why Saka's gone up like that and Harvey Elliott sort of just kind of not quite reached his full potential yet, or close to his full potential, is that Harvey Elliott came into a Liverpool team that was already amazing. They just won the Champions League, and we knew they were going to win the Premier League. You just knew. So for him to break into that team as a 16-year-old, 17-year-old, 18-year-old, it was difficult because Liverpool was so good. While Saka came into an Arsenal team, an Arsenal club, just in absolute disarray. The club was in the pits. It really was. And if we look at the club itself, from when Saka came into the team to now, the club is so much more stable, and it's in such a better place now. And and the way it's grown in 5 years is mind blowing. And I think when you look at Bukayo Saka, he symbolises where Arsenal are now because he's sort of grown with the club. But Harvey Elliott's different. He came into a team which was unbelievable with Sadio Mane and Salah and Firmino. It was difficult for him to break through. And if you'd even go into midfield, you had Wijnaldum, you had Henderson when he was playing really well. So it's difficult. But I think for now, though, I don't think Liverpool are in a place they were in the mid period of Klopp's tenure. So I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, do you know what? This could be his breakthrough season. It really could. And I love everything about him as a player. He is so fun to watch. Honestly, if we're just talking about entertainment, he's one of the most entertaining players to watch because he's always wants the ball, never hides, always wants the ball. He's so skillful. He can shoot, he can pass, he can dribble. He's a wonderful player. And if I'm thinking about styles, his style I'm not saying that he's exactly like him, but he reminds me a little bit of a Bernardo Silva, where I can't see him ending up on the right wing, but I can see Harvey Elliott being like a 10/8 in a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. He seems like that kind of player, in the role that Ødegaard is sort of playing for Arsenal. I can see him becoming that kind of player. And listen, if he's anything like Bernardo Silva, then Liverpool have hit the jackpot. But he's got a long way to go until he reaches someone like Bernardo Silva's level. But can he do it? I think he's got the potential to. I think he definitely has. I think the way he plays is so positive. But he needs to be the main man for Liverpool this season because he's too good. He's too, and you look at it for the under-21s. He's way too good for the under-21s. I've got no doubts in 2 years' time he'll be in the World Cup squad, and he's got to really kick on. I think if he doesn't get in the first team on a regular basis this season, he might have to move on. I think, to be honest with you, I think his potential and his ceiling is so high. I could see him at a Man City. I'm not saying Man City will buy him, but I could see him. Pep Guardiola would love coaching him. He would have an absolute dream coach in Harvey Elliot, as like a long-term replacement for Bernardo Silva. With Bernardo Silva still at the club, but just having Harvey Elliott just learn off one of the greatest managers of all time. He could definitely play for a Man City in the future. Maybe not now, but he could definitely come in and do what Doku's doing a little bit. Just playing the odd game, watching from afar, learning under a very good coach. But it's got to happen for him, and I think it will. But, you know, it's so funny how people can look at it from the outside and think Harvey Elliott's not reaching his potential, but he's 21 years of age. He's got his whole career ahead of him. He's a wonderful talent, and I think this could definitely be his year, and he's definitely one to watch this season, with a new manager as well for him. I hope that he gives Harvey Elliott a massive amount of games this season because he's ready. And also, not to mention, he's had a big injury to deal with as well. He had that leg break or foot break at Leeds about 3 or 4 years ago. So he's had a lot to deal with as a young player. But he's still only 21, and I think he's destined to explode on the scene. I think he's a wonderful talent, wonderful player, and I think next season will definitely be his year. And yeah, let's hope Liverpool really build the team around him, because remember, Liverpool are kind of at a stage where Salah's getting on a bit, Van Dijk's getting on a bit, and they've got a young 21-year-old with bags of talent. And I hope when the old guard sort of leave, I'd love to see Liverpool build the team around this kid, because he really, really is a special talent. But we've just got to see. Hopefully next season it will be his year, and hopefully we see him in an England shirt soon.